Yo, what is up guys, Shadi here, and welcome to finally my March Madness tournament coverage. If you don't know what this is, I'm gonna go over it real quick. Because me as the Bayern Munich, we were invited to represent the PPL together with Shroomraver and Moratui from D2 to represent the PPL. I think I already said that, but hey, don't judge me. In this tournament, and this is basically a draft style tournament hosted by the Token Minorities. Links in the description down below. Make sure to check them out. Really cool people, and yeah. So basically there were how many leagues? There was the PPL, the GBA, the NPL, TBU, GPC, and MPL. Yeah, those are the leagues that were invited to participate in this tournament, and they'll all sent 3 coaches. Plus 2 free agents, I guess you could say, in Call, Eden's Blessing, and Crobat for win, Danza, who both are not in the league currently, or none of those leagues at least, and then they're just kind of there because they're good and friends with the Token Minorities. So, how the draft worked is it's 20 people, so there's a lot of shit that's going on. The chance of you actually having a draft plan is rather low, and I didn't have one. I just went into it and was like, okay, let's see what I can get. Let's see if I can get a good draft. I wasn't too fuzzed, honestly. If I lost in the pools, I wouldn't care too much, honestly. Because hey, it was fun, probably. So there's that. So basically, I was 14th in the draft because I have a relatively strong win percentage or win-loss record in draft format, and the better your draft performance so far, the later you are in the draft. So it's 14th out of 20 people, which is like the middle, pretty much, because like there's a massive amount of middle in this. Not the greatest one, but hey, you can still get a couple good Pokemon, and I was right after LMC and right before Jolt from the Token Minorities. So my draft consists of, which you should be seeing on screen, Jirachi, Terrakion, Salamence, Shaman, Heliolisk, Mega Blastoise, and Golurk. So, 5 Pokemon I used before in draft format in Terrakion, Salamence, Shaman, Heliolisk, and Golurk. The only one I've used extensively, or the only 2 I used extensively, are Terrakion and Shaman. And still Terrakion not all that much, Shaman for a full-on PPL season. So, the other ones I didn't get to use too much. Salamence only had for like a few weeks in the PPL, I think like 5. At max. Heliolisk I had for a similar amount of time in season 1. Golurk I bought like once or twice last season, and last season was shit anyway, so who cares. And yeah, so the human Pokemon I never used before are Jirachi and Mega Blastoise, which I'm really excited for because they're both really good Pokemon. And I will be trying to not spoil anything about the tournament during my commentary because that'd be bad. So let's get into the pool that I was in. I was, in my opinion, in the hardest pool, in all honesty, which was cool. I like a challenge, you know. And my pool consists, of course, of myself, Danza, Crobat for the win, of the LA Nidokings. We had Danekii of the San Luis Sablights from the MPL. We had Lars, Scizor of the Borussia Dortmund from the GBA. And my buddy Bob from the GPC, the Cambodia Zygarden. So, if you know these people, you know there are 3 champions in this. Bob won a GPC twice. Lars won GPC season 1, and Danza won the GBA and the NPL. So 2 times champions, 1 champion. Then there's me and Danekii. So that's already a bit of an issue. But I am okay with this because, again, I like a challenge, and this tournament was going to be relatively late my time, especially if I get further on. So I was like, if I lose in the pools, it's fine because I can actually get sleep. Like, I'm not complaining about sleep, you know, unless I take a nap in the middle of the day and it's just not fun. Anyway, so my first opponent in the pool was Danza Crobat for the win. He actually hosted the stream, so big shout out to him for doing that. It was an amazing stream of the tournament. Link to him and all my other opponents that I'm gonna be playing against in this video, and probably all the ones I play in the tournament as long as I can find them, which is probably difficult for like 1 person at least. So yeah, yeah, link is in the description below. Make sure to check him out. He's a cool dude, and yeah, he did the thing for this tournament. So Now, let's go over the team that he has. He has Zapdos, Mew, Azumarill, Mega Venusaur, Conkeldurr, and Zoroark. Means he did not bring Tyrantrum. That's his last Pokemon. Terrifying draft. As you can see, absolutely scary to prep for. With only 7 Pokemon, that's amazing what he has. So, I decided to bring first up a Choice Specs Heliolisk, because he has no electric immunities. That is the one advantage I have over him. Heliolisk also gives me an amazing check to Azumarill no matter what it does, unless it gets up a sub and a belly drum with a sha-leik berry or something. And if I let it get up a sub and a belly drum, I deserve to lose, if we're being honest. So, I don't think he's going to bring Belly Jet Azumarill anyway, unless he brings, that gimmicky set. But I have 3 fast, bulky water resists. So yeah, that's that. Then we have a Dragon Dance Salamence. That's like the biggest threat I have to his team in my opinion. It is a Lychee Berry variant with Intimidate because I'm running Natural Gift Grass. That's switch Azumarill up. It's his only Dragon Resist. I could have also brought, Draco Spam and then given like I don't know, Hidden Power Electric. But wasn't feeling that, so I'm just gonna run Natural Gift with Dragon Dance. My last move after Dragon Claw is Aerial Ace because that does more to Mega Venusaur, and Mega Venusaur is annoying, so might as well. Then we have a Support Jirachi with the Cobble Berry and Healing Wish, U-Turn, Flash Can, Psyshock, I do believe. It's just a nice check to some offensive threats, mainly the Tyrantrum. It's my main Tyrantrum check. It also helps deal with a lot of his team, honestly. Coleberry is mainly there for Crunch and Tyrantrum and to Pursuit Trap from Zoroark, which I could definitely see him bring. And then we have SD Terrakion with the Choppleberry. Basically, he has 2 strong priorities that can hit Terrakion hard, and SD Terrakion really goes in on his team. I'm running Zen Headbutt, Close Combat of Stone Edge, it says Stone Edge, and Stone Edge I do believe. So I wanted to have, because of those 2 priorities, I wanted to have 1 berry on Terrakion, and I had to decide which one I want. And overall, I felt Conkeldurr was the more problematic thing to deal with my team, because again, I have a Heliolisk which outspeeds and can just destroy Azumarill. I also have a Shaman, as you can see, it's my next one. So I felt like, go with Choppleberry, you can probably bait in Azumarill with the Salamence anyway. Hopefully, maybe, perhaps, potentially. So that's that. Next up, we have a Physically Defensive Shaman, which is my main answer to Azumarill, and a Choice Banded Golurk, because that hurts things very much. Also, I don't remember these games too well. I'll probably rewatch the other ones, but I haven't rewatched this one. So, he didn't bring Tyrantrum, which is huge for me, kind of, a little bit, I guess. I didn't bring Scarfer because I wasn't feeling it, really. I felt like the sets that I ended up bringing were much more important. And yeah, I think I mentioned why I'm not bringing Mega Blasters. Look at his team. It just doesn't do anything. Like, I can't spam Scald because it's got Conkeldurr, which can't take one if he's AV. Mega Venusaur choose everything, Zoom will choose everything. Mew can get a Synchronize over, and it's just not a fun time. Zapdos can kill me, so let's get into the game. I decided to leave my Heliolisk like a good player, leave my Volt Switch user because that's nice and easy. I'm just going to click Volt Switch turn 1. I don't care what he goes into, it's going to take a huge, or at least a solid amount of damage. He goes into Mega Venusaur, which isn't Mega yet, takes 24%, which is very, very solid. And I can just go freely into my Jirachi. So, scare him out, prevent him from Mega Evolving, which is great. And I'm just going to click U-turn here. I can just click Psyshock. Okay. Go over to save Psyshock because, again, I don't want him to Mega Evolve. And he reveals he's a bulky Mew with leftovers. I'm not a fan because that's annoying. How do I deal with this? I'm going to go into my Shaman because, again, I can take a Azumarill differently. I'm just going to go into Shaman and hope for Seed Flare drops. That's my way of dealing with Mew right now because I'm terrible at prepping for Mew. So, I'm going to click Seed Flash, he goes into his Zapdos, and that does nothing. After the game, he told me that this was an Assault Vest Zapdos, which I didn't realize throughout the game. I didn't do many calcs in this tournament because it was late. I don't want to do calcs. Anyway, so, I'm going to go into Golurk because it's a relatively safe switch. He reveals that he's a U-turn variant, which is a very, very smart prep on his part. He can still gain the initiative. So, now he brings out his Azumarill. I don't want to switch anything in, so I'm just going to click Choice Banded Earthquake, and he goes for knockoff, and it knocks me out, which is fine. I got 90% off on a huge threat like Azumarill. And now I can just go into Heliolisk and fire off a Choice Specs Hyper Voice. He didn't bring his resistant Tyrantrum, and I basically get a kill. So he brings out Venusaur 62% because he isn't Mega yet. I think this is his Spadef one, it very much looks like it. So I can just stay in, click Hyper Voice again. He goes to Zapdos, Assault Vest, takes 43%. And I can just go for another one and get the same roll and knock him out. So Heliolisk already putting in huge amount of work against him, huge pressure on his team. And that's great. So, right now, I'm going to switch out into my Jirachi. because my best pivot for the thing, really. Jirachi was there for the Tyrantrum, and now it's not there, and I'm fine with doing this. Basically, I need something I can switch into Conkeldurr so I can kill it, and Jirachi is a good way of dealing it. Because of the Cold Berry, I can shoot a knockoff. So, going to U-turn as the Mew comes in, go back into Evergreen, and I'm just going to click Seed Flare again. I missed, which is unfortunate, but it happens. It's to be expected because the Seed Flare, it always misses. I guess it's like it doesn't do much because I'm a max HP Shaman. I'm just going to click Seed Flare again, as he's going to decide to sack off his Mega Venusaur right here. This could have been a problem if he was Speedy Mega Venusaur. I was really hoping that he was not Speedy Mega Venusaur, because he could have outsped me and hit me really hard with Sludge Bomb and killed me. He's not. He dies to Psychic, and that is great. We are up 5-4. So Mega Venusaur's out of the way, which is a huge annoyance to my team. Yep. So, even on Conkeldurr, I'm going to switch out back into my Jirachi. Turns out this is not actually a Conkeldurr, it's a Zoroark. Bad play on my part, really risky, but hey, it worked out. I wasn't really thinking about Zoroark at that point. Like, at this specific turn, I was like, oh, Zoroark, yeah, fuck. Bad play, but it worked, kind of. So, I'm going to U-turn out again on the Mew and go back into Shaman. It's just going to be rinse, repeat, and now he doesn't have any switch into Seed Flare left. Conkeldurr can switch in, but it's going to take a lot, so that's fine. Quickly Seed Flare, go for the Splash Drop, don't get it, as he's going to go for Psychic, and what Denza decides to do here is sack off his Mew, because if I get a drop, I kill him anyway, I think is what he said, which is fair enough. So, I miss another one because Seed Flare, and this time I'm going to go for one final Seed Flare, hope that he does not go for the Roost. No, wait, he goes for Synthesis, never mind, okay, because I expect him to Roost, right. But he goes for Psychic, which tells me, okay, you're willing to to sack the thing, and I'm getting his potential anyway, so I couldn't have kept Synthesis anyway. So, going to finally get to drop, which is nice, and now this is not a problem anymore. I can now freely go into Heliolisk, I do believe. Do I go into Heliolisk? Yes, I do. And just freely click Volt Switch or Hyper Voice, or whatever I'm feeling. Decide to go for Hyper Voice, for Volt Switch, because I don't want Conkeldurr to come in and just Mach Punch me and threat my team again. So, now I go into Salamence, because I want to bait in the Zermul, I guess. I don't know. It seems like the best player, but I don't get to team death on Conkeldurr, obviously, and if he's Iron Fist, even with Intimidate, he actually kills me, which is crazy. So yeah, I'm gonna go pivot into my Jirachi once again, and this time I'm gonna click Side Shock on Zoroark, which is fine. I'm gonna stay in here because I am Cold Berry, so I'm just gonna go for, I think, Flash Cannon, U-turn, one of the two. I think it was U-turn, yeah. I'm gonna go for U-turn to get damage off on the thing, scout for its set. And that's fine. He goes into Zoomerl, and now I can just go back into Helios, click Volt Switch again. He goes for Aqua Jet, maybe hoping that I don't have Dry Skin, because, you know, worth a try. If you're gonna lose your Pokemon anyway, why not just click Aqua Jet and hope that I'm not Dry Skin? So, right now I'm gonna do my Terrakion. I can basically get a kill, but I don't want to, apparently. So, I'm gonna go back onto Jirachi. I can't kill the thing, basically. So, I need to go on Jirachi and get damage off with the Side Shock, which does a solid chunk, I guess. Nah, you tried, Jirachi. It was decent. It was a decent attempt. So now I can go into my Salamence. He's actually leftovers, okay, which is good to know. And if he's Iron Fist, he kills me. If he's anything else, then he lives. He doesn't kill me. I mean, probably depending on damage rolls and stuff. But he does just kill me after he lives the aerial ace. So that means that he is Iron Fist. And now I can go into my Terrakion. And I thought this was game. Because I very much thought he was a low kick Scarf or Focus Blast Scarf Zoroark. So gonna go for Zenithal, knock out that Conkeldurr. Now he was a Zoroark, and he goes for Extension and I live because of the Topple Berry I had against the Conkeldurr, and I can knock the thing out with a close combat, and that is a GG to Danza. So as the first game of the pool 1, the Topple Berry actually came in clutch. If you want to scroll up, that did 21%, where Cold Berry would have done like 40. So I would have died to the extrasensory most likely. So that's cool. Jesus. Yeah, MVP, I'm going to give that to Helios because that put in the finest of work. But Jirachi also did really well in Shaman with wearing on it Mew. I'm dying. So before I die any further, I'm going to pause, and then we're going to go hop into the next game. Okay, so getting into the second game against El Scizor Lars, good friend of mine, from the GBA. not a very strong opponent. I've played him before in draft format. I think the game against DM was before the tournament. Yeah, it was. So I played him twice in draft format, one in a friendly and one in the PPL, as he was a replacement coach. So we have played each other. We know how we do. And this draft is also pretty fucking scary. Mega Altaria, Scizor, Arcanine, Roserade, Azelf, Jolteon, and Crawdaunt. Same thing. So my game plan was punch his shit in and then clean up with Golurk. I have offensive Mega Blasters because he does not have any switch-ins to it, like at all. I think it was Scald, Ice Beam, Dark Pulse, Rapid Spin, something like that. Maybe. Could have been something else with Dark Pulse. I don't think I really need Dark Pulse. I don't remember. It's fine. Aura Sphere for Crawdaunt. That's the one. We have a special modest Life Orb Salamence because I want to speed the modest Roserade. I want to speed the Timid one. And with this, the spread I'm running, is Draco Meteor, Fire Blast, Hydro Pump, and Hidden Power Steel. Because that's a 2 KO on Altaria, depending on its spread, of course. If it's Spit-F, it takes 2, obviously, because it's a Spit-F Altaria, it takes everything. But if it isn't, and with Rocks, I'm guaranteed to 2 KO thing and have it not be a switch, and otherwise it would obviously completely wall me. Didn't want to run Iron Tail because I'm special Salamence. I don't want to lose out on bulk. We're running a minus defense nature. I also don't want to miss Iron Tail because I'm unlucky. We all know that. So there's that. Then we have a support Jirachi with double status and T-Wave and Toxic, because I want to hit up the Arcanine with Toxic. I want to T-Wave things like the Mega Altaria and slow them down, and potentially Paraflinch him because I'm running Iron Head and Fire Punch. Jirachi is actually really strong in this matchup. It's my Mega Altaria counter because it takes hits. It's max HP with enough speed to beat a Jolly one, I do believe, and then 16 attack and Adamant. Something along those lines. It beats Mega Altaria. It can check Scizor very effectively unless it's a Scarf variant. It can somewhat check Azelf and Roserade, and it can also live a hit from Jolteon. And yeah, so Jirachi just deals with a lot of his team. Then, seeing as he only has one hazard removal in the form of Scizor, and he has things like Arcanine weak to it, he has Altaria, which before Mega Evolving is weak to it, Jolteon, which is going to try and Volt Switch around my team. I wanted to bring Stealth Rocks and have them on my sashed Fog Sash lead Terrakion. While offensive Terrakion does work, I still wanted the defensive one. He has 2 strong Pyro users in Crawdaunt and Scizor. So I was like, just run the Sash lead and get huge damage off on something, get rocks, and also potentially taunt something. So I'm running Close Combat, Stone Edge, Rocks, and Taunt. I just said that. So next up, we have a Rock Polish Golurk with the Pasho Berry, Earthquake, Heavy Slam, and another move that I don't remember. I think Dynamic Punch or something. Could be something else. Could be Fire Punch. I don't remember. It was something that does damage. Could be Shadow Punch. I don't remember. Not sure if we'll see it in the game, but we'll find out. Pasho Berry is of course there for the Aqua Jet from Crawdaunt. If he is Life Orb, Adam Life Orb, I think he does like 50% max with the Pasho Berry, so that's really nice. And last but not least, we have a Scarf Helios. I wanted something to check his offensive threats in case they get out of hand. Maybe a weakened Altaria with Jirachi enough to the point where I can heal with a Scarf type of voice. I'm modest, so I'm going to be doing a decent amount. I'm running Volt Switch, Thunderbolt, Hyper Voice, and HP Fire. I need a last move slot because there was nothing I really needed. So I decided to go with Scizor's, go with HP Fire for the Scizor. Also it's Roserade for super effective damage, not much, but it is something. And yeah, that's that. It also gives me a good check to DD Crawdaunt, of course, which is scary. So last Ring Crawdaunt, which is nice. Azelf, I don't have too much for, so that's a threat I need to work around. But since my team is relatively bulky offensive, I think I can somewhat work around it. Especially if it's not a Nespot variant. If it's a Nespot variant, things could get a little scary because of enough priority. So, let's get into the game. As I said, Terrakion is my lead. I'm going to lead off with that. I see this with Roserade, which is fine because I can get up my rocks and I can then still enter Thing to the face and get a huge amount of damage off on his probably dedicated Mega Blasters counter. So, and look at that damage. If I was Life Orb, I could have actually just O-code him right then and there, which would have been nice. But hey, it's fine. He's gonna take that, and now I'm gonna go into my Helios, and I do believe I just click Hyper Voice. Yes, I do. Could click HP Fire, which would have been nice for the Bob D, what seems to be an Aquaberry variant because he doesn't have leftovers and he seems to be really bulky. So, gonna go into Cassandra because Cassandra is a really good check to the thing. He goes for a Roost, goes back to full HP. I'm going to Hydro Pump because when save is overapplied, it's going to do a lot to do. It's going to hit the Altaria for some damage. It's going to bop the Arcanine. He's going to go for the Baton Blast, which is fine because he's going to pass -1 attack. So he goes into Altaria, and now I can't kill it from his range if it's a bulky variant, so I don't want to stay in. I'm just going to hard switch out into my Jirachi. He's at -1 attack, so it doesn't matter. He's not going to do terrible much to Jirachi. It does nothing, look at that. And I can basically get a free hit here. I don't quite remember what I go for. It was probably Toxic. I think I go for Toxic here, expecting Jolteon to come in. Works out perfectly. If he stayed in, I would have also worked, because I could have flinched him. Or hit him hard with Iron Head and potentially flinch him. So I'm gonna go do Solaire here because Solaire has a good pivot into the thing. He goes for Shadow Ball because it's a good move to hit Golurk and Jirachi, so it's a smart play on his part. But I'm gonna pivot around then and go for the Scuff Modest Hyper Voice, which almost brings this thing down to a range where it dies to Stealth Rocks. There we go. Words are hard. So Toxic and Rocks, I'm going to kill that thing, which is cool because Jolteon is a pretty big annoyance to my team. So again, he brings out the Scizor, and I'm going to go into my Salamence once again because I don't care. Seeing as he stayed in earlier, he's most likely Occa Berry. He's actually most definitely Occa Berry. So regardless of that, I'm just going to click Fire Blast because it does damage. He brings out Altaria, and this is my chance to bop the thing with an HP steal. Knock it the fuck out. He switches. What the fuck, Lars? What are you doing? Why do you do this to me? I'm upset. Go for HP Steel, does nothing to Arcanine, and I'm upset. Like, really upset. And I'm just gonna click Draco here because he has nothing to take at this point. So, Draco the dog, and the dog is dead. Lars, why'd you switch? I know it was a smart play, but fuck you. So, with Altaria against him, a -2, I don't want to risk not killing with the HP Steel depending on his investment. So, I'm gonna go into Jirachi because Jirachi is good. And he's gonna roost, so it doesn't matter. I'm safe to go into this. At this point, I'm just gonna click Fire Punch. I think Iron Head. I think it was Iron Head, which is what I click here. Yes, indeed. I click Iron Head, do nothing to Scizor, and I'm gonna switch out because I don't want to take a knockoff to the face, even though he's a bulky variant. I'm gonna Mega Blastoise. He keeps on roosting because Scizor is actually really important to his team right now. And now Mega Blastoise is inside, and nothing wants to take a hit because Roserite is really, really low. And I can just get a Skull off. Jolteon goes down, which is fine. Also, good name because fuck you, Burke. Use that Blemsha. It's a Blemsha. The Roserite. 5%. And I don't want to take a Giga Drain, like, at all. It's just not on my to-do list. And I go into Helios because reasons I don't know. Go for HP Fire because it hits this and Scizor, and then he just lives because I think he's AV Roserite or something. Definitely seems like it. So that's really annoying. But now I can go into Jirachi and just click Fire Punch. And that's it at Roserite. Cool. Jirachi's at full. It hasn't taken much damage, and if every time it did take damage, it just left over it back. Yeah, that's the word. So, gonna go to Mance on the Scizor. He's gonna go for Bull Punch, which is a 2 KO from this range despite the Intimidate, which is kind of unfortunate because it's unfortunate. And I want to keep the Salamence for reasons that are beyond me, honestly. And I go into Mega Blastoise, take a crit Bull Punch to the face, and I don't know why I did this. Like, in hindsight, it's a really, really bad and unnecessary play that might cost me the game. Because I need Mega Blastoise at good health to take a hit from Azel. Oh, Jesus, I just hit my mic with my laptop. I can do things, okay? I swear. So, he's going to weigh me down really, really low because I don't get a burn, which is fine. And he got 2 crits. So, Mega Blastoise is now low because I made a bad play. Good job, Shotty. So, he brings out the Azelf. I don't want to risk the thing setting up, so I'm just going to stay in. He goes for the Grass Knot, knocks me out with the Life Orb Grass Knot. And now this is looking like a little bit of a threat, you know? I have to go to Jirachi and I have to click T-Wave. I need to get the thing low. Need to slow the thing down so I can clean up with Salamence. Clean up with Golurk even. And yeah. So, get T-Wave off. Shadow Ball does a whole lot. If he was a Fire Blast variant, I could have lived. So yeah, that's cool. I'm going to take off Salamence here because I want to keep Jirachi at good health. And I can clean up the game with Golurk regardless. So, I'm going to go to Bolin. And just click Shadow Punch. Yep, that was my last move. I knew that. Now I got the Azif, and now he only has Altaria left. And I can deal with the thing. I have Heavy Slam. It's gonna do a buttload. It's gonna kill the thing. He goes for Dragon Dance. Scary, but he's gonna die to Heavy Slam, right? Right? Nope. He lives on 5%. Fuck my life. But Golurk is a god and lives the +1 return from a Mega Altaria and just knocks out the next Heavy Slam. And that is a GG to Lars. So we are 2-0 with 2-0 victories. So, Golurk proving its worth. I love this thing. I should draft it again. It's like a league. I don't know what league. It's a PPL or somewhere else. I should draft it though. Because the thing is good. Like, it was the last round pick. I was like, I need a ground type. What is around? Shit. And Golurk. So I want a Golurk. Yeah, I'm really happy with the thing. I want a Crocodile thing because I always want Crocodile. Like, It's the best ground, one of the best ground types. So yeah, link to also in the description. Make sure to check him out. And I'm gonna pause the recording again, and we get into the third game of the pool. Okay, so the third game of the pool against Danekii and his St. Louis Sableyes. He's representing the MPL. Next to me, the only person in this pool who did not win a league title yet, as far as I know, at least. So yeah, as that his draft is different, and I like it. Like, it's not different in a bad. You usually say different when it's bad, but it's just it has something weird about it when you look at it, but it has some really decent synergy around it, and it's a problem. It's somewhat problematic for my draft to deal with, to some extent. So he has Sylveon, Heatran, Ferrothorn, Mega Alakazam, which is fucking terrifying, Blastoise, Zygarde, and Whimsicott. So we have Mega Blastoise against regular Blastoise. As you can see, didn't end up bringing it, so there is no turtle fight if you're into that. And yeah, he brought everything but the Blastoise, obviously, because there are only 7 Pokemon. So there's one thing that's singled out, not more. So the team I'm bringing is Life Orb, Rock Polish, Adamant, Terrakion. This thing just destroys his team. It breaks it in half, like, completely. Close Combat, Stone Edge, and Iron Head. I want to have something to safely hit the Sylveon for a little bit more damage, and same with Whimsicott. The Whimsicott obviously don't die to Stone Edge, but Iron Head doesn't, like, is more reliable. So there's that. Rock Polish, because I'm expecting to bring a Scarfer, and there's also Mega Alakazam, which is terrifying, and I want to be able to revenge kill that thing safely. Probably could have like Payapa Berry, but then I had to be at full to even live one. I would assume, so not worth it at all. They'll just go for Energy Ball and probably still kill me. So stupid. There was like a Speedy Jirachi, which was a really weird set. Wish, U-turn, Arna, and Drain Punch. I want Drain Punch just so I can prevent Ferrothorn, Heatran from just 100% safely switching in on me. And I can get a little bit of health back and stuff like that, so that's cool. Jirachi's mainly there to deal with Whimsicott and Sylveon, as well as Mega Alakazam. I can live a hit from all 3 of those, or, you know, I can live multiple hits from Sylveon and Whimsicott and beat them 1v1 with Iron Head and Wish. Leftovers, I have speed. I think it was enough for offensive Heatran, so I can just U-turn on that or Drain Punch it or whatever. So that's cool. There we have a Life Orb, Stealth Rocks, Iron Fist, Golurk with Earthquake, Ice Punch, and Heavy Slam. This is basically going to be one of my breakers, so I can wear his team down with this thing, plus the next 3 you see, and then clear with Terrakion. That's kind of the game plan, if you want to call it that. And he doesn't have switch-ins to Golurk, because who does have switch-ins to Golurk, you know? Ice Punch destroys Zygarde, it destroys Whimsicott, so does Heavy Slam. Earthquake does a lot to his team, because he doesn't have any good resistances to Golurk's Earthquake, at least. So there's that. Earthquake is probably going to be my move of choice. And Heavy Slam is there to Oko Sylveon, depending on its spread, and to do a fuck ton to any Sylveon spread. And then we have offensive Mega Blastoise, because it shits on his team, it shits on every team, because Mega Blastoise is a god. With Rapid Spinning, because I don't want to be hazard stacked by the Ferrothorn. We have a Scarfed Salamence, which has a terrible matchup against his team. However, I wanted something to be able to 100% safely check a DD Zygarde, as well as Mega Alakazam. Those two absolutely terrified me. So, I wanted Scarfmance, because it checks both of them really safely. Unless I get up to +2, which would be less than ideal. So yeah, there's that. It could also be like Habanberry Zygarde, but I didn't, like, I would have probably see that. Like, if he doesn't have an item, I could assume that he was that. I wouldn't. So, that would have been a problem. And we have the modest Expert Belt Heliolisk, with HPIs and other moves that I don't remember. Yeah. And that's it. Speed ties with max speed Zygarde, but I didn't think he'd bring full on max speed. I would assume that he speed creeps like most people do. If he doesn't, then oh well. I have to risk a speed tie and just win that, because easy peasy. You just win speed ties if you're lucky. I'm gonna hope to be lucky in this match. And I think I had Focus Blast and Heliolisk. I don't remember, but you will see. So let's get into the game. I decide to lead off with something I don't remember. It is Mega Blastoise, because it matches up well against his potential leads, and then it's a Sylveon, which I didn't expect to lead. So, gonna have to go into my Jirachi. Seagulls with Toxic, I obviously predict that. Didn't expect a Hyper Voice, nope. Works out perfectly for me, so that's fine. I'm just gonna click U-turn here, because Heatran is probably coming in, and I can get a free switch out back into my Blastoise, which is fine. Basically, I can U-turn out with Jirachi every time, and just get a free switch into my Mega Blastoise. So he goes into his Ferrothorn, and I just go for Scald. I don't get a burn. I probably should have gone for Aura Sphere deck, because it's like a safe middle ground, but he could have also gone to Whimsicott. So, yeah, that was my safe play. So, I'm gonna say go for all-3, and that's a resist. It's not. Look at the damage. Mega Blast is strong. I'm gonna go into my Jirachi here because it takes anything from the thing really well. Shadow Ball something. I think it's Shadow Ball, I'm pretty sure. Could do a good chunk, but it still doesn't do much because I'm Spit F-ish. So, I'm gonna go for U-turn again because that's gonna be the name of the game. If he stays in, I still get good damage off and can just run to kill him. He's Rocky Helmet, Rough Skin, Iron Bob Ferrothorn, which is kind of annoying, but hey. This time I'm just gonna click Close Combat because I can kill that thing. And look at that! What the? That's a Sylveon! I think this means that this is a max speed Sylveon. So I'm gonna switch out here actually. No, I don't. Okay. Yeah, right. Okay, I'm gonna pause because he could have been max speed Sylveon. For damage, he's probably max speed Sylveon or something close to that. So it's like he could be Scarfed, but he had Toxic. So, or I just miscalced, which is just as possible because it was relatively late, I think. No, this one was still relatively early, so yeah. Yeah, he's Speedy Sylveon, but he's not going to be Scarfed with Toxic against my team. It just doesn't make sense. So, I'm just going to click Iron Head, knock that thing out, but he goes into Ferrothorn. I take the damage, which is unfortunate because Terrakion is going to be my late game sweeper, but hey, everything to kill a Ferrothorn, right? So Ferrothorn goes down, which is one Salt Skull Switch and just gone, and that's nice. Now you can bring out his Whimsicott, which outspeeds me and can just kill me, but I want to keep Terrakion around. He doesn't have Stealth Rock up yet, so I don't have to worry about anything of that nature. And he's going for knockoff and do a solid chunk, and he says in this turn, expecting me to U-turn, I do believe, and I go for Drain Punch, and I have a low Jirachi, which is kind of scary because there's still a Mega Kazam running around. This time I'm just going to click Iron Head, knock the thing out because he appears to be willing to sack off his Whimsicott, which is fine. So we're up 6-4, but this is still very, very scary. I have to take out my Jirachi here because I don't want this Alakazam to get up a free stop. And he tries Serene Race. Spit F drops, boys. So, I'm gonna go to Golurk here. And this was more of a bluff, because if he was like modest with Energy Ball, he most likely would have killed me. It was a damage roll that was, I'm pretty sure it was in his favor. I don't remember exactly because it's been a while. It was last weekend, so excuse me. But this is basically me bluffing that I am a more bulky variant of Golurk, like AV or whatever, that I can definitely live a hit. So, he's gonna switch out. I get that correctly, I guess. And I'm just gonna click Earthquake and now go to Sylveon because at this point he has nothing. I can take an Earthquake. It's beautiful. So he was on Zygarde, and I do not care. I'm gonna click Ice Punch. Like, no, you're not saying I'm still Zygarde. You're not getting a game or a sub. Fuck you, Zygarde. So Ice Punch, and I was gonna go for Outrage. I live because Golurk is a god, and I knocked that thing out with Ice Punch. Just casually living like a stab Outrage with barely any HP investment, I think. I was really speedy to outspeed Heatran, so there's that. I bring up Mega Alakazam, I bring up Mega Blasters, which is fine. He has Mega Launcher. He doesn't get anything, can make use of that. And Psyche does nothing, look at that. Mega Blasters with the bulk. I'm basically max HP, just a little bit of speed to make sure he doesn't speed creep me. And I can 2-KO the Mega Alakazam here with the Scald. And then he can bring out his Heatran, and I can either kill her with Scald, or he outspeeds me and kills me. Or I get damage off and he lives. He's turns out to be probably Scarf, or just really speedy, and kills me, but no matter what he is, I can go into my Scarf Salamence and actually clean up the game with an Earthquake. So, Scarf Salamence did a thing. Good thing I brought that, so get the Moxie booster into the game, and that's a GG to Dan. Yeah, I'm pretty happy. I guess Scarfmans did clean up at the end, so that's what Scarfmans does, I guess. And yeah, that's cool, that's cool, that's cool. And then we got into the next game, and the last game. We're now 3-0, and my next opponent, Bob, is also 3-0, so last game is important, and game deciding, and yeah, stuff and things. So I'm basically through to the next one already, which is nice. So, I'm gonna pause, and then we get into the next. Okay, so the game against Bob, call me #1 of the GPC, 2 times champion of his own league. He's a very, very competent player, as much as I don't like to say that. He is arguably one of the better ones in the entire tournament. The 3rd best win record. I think he's tied with the 2nd one even, so very strong win record. But it's his own league, so it doesn't count, right? Right. His draft is also really, really scary to mine and to any draft, really. Cresselia, Scolipede, Crocodile, Mega Diancie, Registeel, Feraligatr, and Cofagrigus. So that's scary, like really scary. He didn't bring, let me figure it out, Registeel. He didn't bring Registeel, which is fair because like the majority of my team just shits on it, so that's completely fine. Yeah. So Bob's team is scary, and I decided to bring offensive Mega Blastoise with Scald, Dark Pulse, Aura Sphere, and Roar. Roar is dead because Scolipede and it can pass things, and I'm not a fan of that. I don't have fast removal against the Scolipede, which is also stupid, but it's gonna happen. Like, Mega Blastoise just shits on his team because, again, it shits on every team. He has nothing, it switches in safely. Roar is there for Gator and Scolipede, as I said. Then we have a Jirachi, which is specifically EV to beat Team Mega Diancie. I have a Sugar Berry, and with my HP investment and my Speed Up investment, I am guaranteed to live 2 Earth Powers from the Mega Diancie. One with and one without the Sugar Berry. So, even if he pops my Sugar Berry early game with the Diancie, I can then later on switch and like preserve my Jirachi at as high health as possible, as the exact amount of health, and knock him over the Iron Head, shoot Earth Power, and everything is fine. Other way around. First shoot Earth Power, then kill him. Yeah. I also have Toxic for the Cresselia, I have U-Turn, and I have Drain Punch for Crocodile, and to get health back generally, and also the Registeel. So, and then we have Yachi Berry Shaman, max HP with enough speed to outspeed Crocodile, probably. Yeah, I think that's what it was. It's gonna be my Gator check. Every time I have this matchup, I'm gonna do it. I did it in the PPL Season 2. Gonna do it again because it just works. Seed Flare, Leech Seed, Synthesis, and Psychic, I think is the set. Something like that. Yeah, pretty sure that's it. So I can miss a Seed Flare against Gator and lose because of that. I'm smart. Then we have Scarfelius with HP Steel, Wolf with Thunderbolt, and Surf, because that checks his team really well. Again, checks Gator at +1. I think I have enough speed to outspeed a Crocodile, Scarf Crocodile, so I checked that as well with Surf if it's slightly weakened. I can also Volt switch around, barring the Crocodile relatively freely, so because I don't think Crocodile wants to switch in. And yeah. Then we have a Life Orb Rock Polish Golurk with Power Punch, Earthquake, Shadow Punch. Yeah. Power Punch is basically that you just pick something off at low health, like the Crocodile. I am Iron Fist, so it's going to do a little bit of damage, and I can basically get a Rock Polish and then kill something at low health that he might want to sack off against the thing, because what I'll switch into a Golurk. I guess Crest could actually switch in, which is disgusting. Oh, failures. They're both weak to Ghost. Can still switch in because I'm fat and because of Mummy. So there's that. And then we have a Dragon Dance Lumberry Salamence, because it's a Salamence. It has Crunch, that's Dragon Dance, and I think it has Earthquake for the Registeel and the Diancie. Yeah, that's it. So DD Mets is a pretty big win con. My Blast is gonna put in work damage wise, and so is Golurk hopefully. So let's get into the game. I decided to leave with my Blastoise, I think. Yes, I do, because Mega Blast is just a good lead. I'm just gonna click Skull turn 1, because I don't care. So he's going to Crocodile, and he revealed that he's banned. Ow, that hurts my feelings. And I just killed him with a Skull. So Crocodile's gone. I can Volt Switch. So that's a good thing. That's also a banned Crocodile. And then he misses the Mega Horn. He brings a Skull, he misses the Mega Horn, which is nice, because I can keep my Mega Blastoise. I roar him out into Ferris, and I can click Dark Pulse, and everything's fine, and the flowers are doing. I don't fucking know. Dark Pulse on Diancie, which takes a lot from that, considering it's a resist and relatively bulky Pokemon. I'm gonna go to my Jirachi right away. So he goes for Protect, which is the safest play, because he doesn't want me to Scald him because I would speed him. So for my goal. So I'm gonna click Iron Head, and now I'm gonna click U-Turn because he's gonna switch out. He's gonna expect me to potentially be Scarf because he hasn't seen an item yet. I'm gonna U-Turn out on Eco-Fragrance, which is fine. And I can go to Mega Blastoise again. Yay! Basically, him missing Mega Horn was huge, because Mega Blastoise is now still around, and I can just click Dark Pulse. He brings out Cresselia, which, why does Cresselia work as a Dark Pulse switch into a Mega Blastoise? This is bullshit. So I'm gonna go for Dark Pulse. I called the flinch here. I wasn't called, I do believe, and I got a flinch. I think I was in call with some PPL friends, so I called it. Yeah, I called it in call, so it's not hacks. Can't complain. So he's got Mega Blastoise, Mega Diancie. I'm going to Jirachi again because it's my safest play. He goes for Earth Power, which probably would have killed Mega Blastoise on Rage anyway, so it was the safest play. And this time I'm just going to click Iron Head because I can't risk anything against the thing at this point. And it does a solid amount to Scofagos, which should have told me that he's probably more offensive. it didn't, as you can tell. I'm gonna U-turn again because there's no way he outspeeds me. Obviously, he's in Rocky Island, so don't risk anything. I'm gonna pivot out into my Helix as he's still a nasty plot, which is terrifying. Because Bob absolutely loves this set. Trick Room nasty plot because it's good. He's gonna set the Trick Room as T-Ball doesn't do a whole lot, and knock me out with the +2 HP fighting, which is surprising that I actually killed. Not really. No, it's not surprising. What am I saying? So, I need Shaman at full health, so the only thing I can live potentially is Salamence. So I have to go into that, shoot the Shadow Ball like it's nothing because Salamence is a monster, and knock the thing out with a crunch, and don't get a Mox boost because Mummy. So, Correct is gone. That was a huge threat. Now Trick Room is up and Gator comes out. I'm gonna sack off my Salamence because at this point it's not too important. I'm not Scarf, so I don't need it. I'm not gonna get up a DD out and anything right now. So, I'm going to Shaman, and I do believe I do just click the safe Seed Flare. I do. Scolipede takes a Chunklet and gets a bit of drop, so that's nice. And I think I'm gonna switch into my Bengal Blasters. Okay, I'm gonna take off my Blasters here as he sets up an SD. And it's GG, basically. Like, yeah, Jirachi doesn't live an Earthquake because my Sugar Berry is gone. Jirachi doesn't, Shaman doesn't live a hit, and Golurk shouldn't live because this is a Scolipede +2 and the thing should have Aqua Tail, right? Right? Nope, he only has Earthquake, and Golurk lives and kills him with an Earthquake. Golurk, you monster, I love you. So, Death Threat is gone. So he doesn't have Aqua Tail. Gator comes out, I'm just gonna stay in and click Life Orb Earthquake because you're not gonna appreciate this, good sir. He does not, like, at all. That's a Gator. The thing is bulky, so that's nice. And I can go to Shaman. And depending on the spread, Psychic has a chance to kill. Not a guaranteed kill, so I don't want to risk the roll. I would rather risk the Seed Flare because I'm a man. So I'm going to click Seed Flare as he goes for the Custard Berry Ice Punch. He was Custard Berry. He was check to Salamence, as he said. And I'm going to knock him out. I don't miss the Seed Flare. So I probably could have lived another one, as you can tell, so it's, you know, it's fine. He's gonna go for Moonblast. I shoot that because Shaman is a god, but I miss Seed Flare, so it's unfortunate. And I'm gonna go down to the next Moonblast, and now I have to risk getting crit by the Diancie, which would be fair at this point because I hacks the fuck out of him, so hey. I live though, doesn't get crit, and I knock out Diancie with the Iron Head. And that's a GG to Bob. So, we both said before the game, this game isn't going to be too important because we both threw anyway. He built his team pretty much right before the match because he didn't have much time, I think. Oh, he's probably just lazy because it's Bob. So yeah, he built his team right before the game and I beat him. Yeah, wasn't too confident in the matchup because he had very scary things and Bob is a very good player that can make these things work, especially Fergus. He has used that before, he has used Scolipede before. And they're both absolutely massive threats to my team. So I'm glad I won. And Jirachi's the last man standing. So we advanced out of the pool undefeated, 4-0, which is great. +8 differential only, which isn't that great, but considering that we were in the strongest pool, I'm incredibly happy with going undefeated and very surprised by it, in all honesty. And yeah, this is an incredibly long video. Might have to split it up into 2. I probably won't because fuck you. I don't know who, but fuck you. Probably, yeah, fuck you, Bob. I don't know why, but fuck you. Yeah. If you actually watch the whole thing, that's very cool of you, and I appreciate that. And yeah, we're gonna move on into pools. I'm probably gonna do the next battles in one batch and have a thing. Not gonna spoil anything. I'm gonna shut up now. Thank you for watching, and hopefully see you in the next March Madness upload. Make sure to check out Bob and Dan. Their links will be in the description down below as well. Well, they're all 4 links are going to be in the description. I don't know what I'm saying. So, as well as Token Minorities, and with that I'm going to get out of here. Also, shirts! They're Bayern Mewnich shirts for this tournament. If you want one, you can get one. I don't get any money from it because it's on Joel's Redbubble. Check it out. It's cool. I ordered one. They're pretty fucking cool. I haven't gotten it yet. Yeah. Leave a like, leave a comment, leave some nudes. I will appreciate all 3 of those, and hopefully see you guys next time. Goodbye.